We're recording, dude.
All right.
All right.
Hey, come here.
How's your sound check, dude? Go sound check.
Check, check.
Check, check, check. Go ahead.
I
More.
need a little more gain on my
You need more
on
gain.
my on my phones.
By all means. Dude, gains on your phones. Hello, hello,
Check,
hello.
check, 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 check. Okay, I can hear myself now. How do we look on the?
Check, 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 check.
How does level look?
Check, check, check. Hold on. Do. What am I at, dude? Why can't I do what I want to do here?
Gain, gain.
Gain. Testing, one, two, testing. Is that you or
Yeah,
me?
that's me. That's
Oh,
me.
testing, one, two, testing, one, two, test. There we go. Testing, one, two, test, one, two. Testing. Hey guys. Hi.
Hello, 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 hello. No, I'm still not.
we're just
Still
doing a
not
little
there.
we're just doing a little sound check
Hi,
here.
hey.
Test.
No.
Test. We were a little hot last week, so I wanted to make sure
Yeah,
to
I don't. I
go
can't.
again.
I gotta go more.
More.
Check, check, check. Hey,
No,
hey,
go
folks.
hard.
How we doing? No, I don't think that's quite. No, no. You got to turn me up, man. I'm not
Harder.
screaming all night long.
There you go. No, we were way too hot last week. I had to do a lot of editing last week. It's the
Really?
pains of being a producer of your own show. I mean, we got a sound guy out there to come over here and do this for free. I'd love it. Just get a hold of me at Bruce Soul at gmail.com. I'll teach you how to do it. No experience necessary.
Yeah.
So we're on the pre-show right now, recording this just so we have some decent sound to listen to. And you got Bruce and Doug, and we're here all 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 night if you
All
want us
night.
here. We talked about doing an all-nighter.
We're gonna keep talking until you beg us to stop. Ha ha. No, please. We'll send you money. Test. Check 1, 2, 3. Check, check. Da 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 da. Okay. How's it look?
We're good. We're live. We've been live
Okay.
for the last 5 minutes. So.
Sorry, folks. Have we really been live?
I don't know if we've really been live, but hey, welcome to the Weathered Soul podcast. You got Bruce and Doug, and we want to thank you for being here tonight. This will drop on Thursday, so you guys will hear this on Halloween. So today is what did you call it?
Oh, it's mischief night.
It's
Halloween Eve.
Yeah, Halloween Eve.
Yeah, it's the night you're
I've
supposed to
been
go
interested because
paper people's houses.
It's been bugging me in my mind since you told me that. So what I want to do is I want to know what it's all about. Tell me about it. Have you ever had a mischief night?
Have I participated?
Have you participated?
Oh,
before?
in many.
Well, then enlighten us that we're like in a protected class. I never went out on mischief night. I never did that.
Well, yeah, I guess I don't know if it's different in urban areas. Um, yeah, no, even in the
Well, I mean,
even in the small cities where
but
I
I mean,
grew
I
up, you
grew up
had
in San
mischief
Jose. I
night.
knew that they
Yeah,
were out there because
yeah,
people get their
yeah. You grab a
places,
couple of
toilet
rolls of
paper.
toilet paper
Yeah.
off your parents'
Yeah,
shelf, and
that
you
was kind of always a homecoming thing or something like that around
really
here.
oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
all those kind of ones. I kind of
Well,
remember,
that and you steal a jack-o'-lantern or two, and like set it out in the middle of the street, or on the top of somebody's car, or something like that. Some toilet paper, usually not too bad of stuff. The worst case is, say, a real shitty principal or something like that might get some eggs on his house.
yeah. Well, sometimes principals they deserve that shit.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sometimes they don't, and they get it anyway.
Well,
It's tough.
my mischief stuff always was like, every day.
Well, that's the other thing too. Where I grew up in New England, October is getting into winter, and so even if you cover somebody's yard, like cover their trees with 50 rolls of toilet paper, within a week or two, it's nothing more than snotty little spitballs on the ground because it gets blown and rained out of the trees.
Well, I grew up in a trailer park back when I was like in my influential ages. My
Well, that's
teen,
you could stand up on the roof and get like 5 houses with one roll.
Well, we used to, if I remember right, see, 1971 is when I moved into a place called San Jose Verde in San Jose. It was in back of the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds. And that's where I
Okay.
met all my little group of friends that I hang out with kind of on
Oh, your little
Facebook. You know,
gangsters.
those my little
Yeah.
gang, you know, some of my little gangster friends are still there. Debbie and Durain and a couple of other people are on the um, on the Facebook page. And it's funny because I remember back we just remember being bored kids. And I remember being so bored that me and a buddy of mine, Jeff, we would find rocks and then we would throw them straight, I mean, like an angle up in the air because we knew when they came down, they'd come down on the top of a trailer and it'd go
Most likely.
bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you'd do it's kind of like the
Yeah.
knock and run game, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's what snowballs, or even better yet, ice balls.
Okay.
Clumps of like partially melted, refrozen snow on the side of the road.
Hmm.
Yeah, those are great for roofs.
Oh, okay.
Boom, boom, boom. Then they hit the gutter. Bang.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we resorted to eggs one time. We did that.
Yeah. But eggs are expensive.
Eggs you can only get a couple out of mom's freaking refrigerator without her
Yeah.
knowing the eggs are missing.
The thing with eggs though is they'll like take the finish off the side of a house. If you
Oh
don't
yeah,
get them
oh
off
yeah,
right
oh
away.
yeah, oh yeah. I
Yeah,
know, I
you
know.
don't want
But we
those to
were we
sit there
were
till
we were
spring.
11. We were 11, 12 years old, dude.
No, I mean, as if you're a
Somebody
homeowner
else cared.
and your house
Somebody
get
else
eggs,
cared.
hose it off right away.
Somebody else
Yeah,
cared.
yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, the protein on an egg is freaking incredibly strong, dude.
yeah,
I mean, if you don't get them off your plates, like when you put them in the dishwasher or something like that, forget it. You let it dry, man. That stuff's hard to get off. I mean,
yeah,
very hard to get off. It's super glue.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So another thing that we did was, oh man, this is so bad. This is so bad. So Umbarger Road, the road that's in back of the
Right.
fairgrounds.
Yeah, yeah.
At that time it was very dark, and across our trailer park was a field, and it was always leased out by somebody, but somebody leased it out, put a fence around it, and stored pallets back there.
Oh, an arson's dream.
No, we didn't set it on fire. No, we did not do that. But we used to get back there all the time, and Priest Wade O'Neill was his name. I worked for him for a while. Unfortunately, he came to an untimely death in that yard, and it was kind of weird. It's suicide. But make long story short, we used to hang out back there as kids. Just freaking, that was the
Between the
place.
stacks.
Yeah, between the
Yeah, yeah,
stacks. He
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have a dog or anything, like
Yeah,
that.
right
So
on.
it's just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
he just went over there.
yeah.
Well, it was always dark down that road. We always saw cars coming down that road. Some of those cars were just going down to the next road and turn off because it teed off. You can only go left or right. So we got this idea of doing mud balls.
Ooh.
And we would get by the fence, we get by the fence by the pallets on top of the pallets, and these cars would come by. We chucking mud balls at them.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Nice guys.
yeah.
I guess
We didn't do that for long before the cops started figuring out what was going on.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They didn't get me, but they got.
I guess you
a
got to
couple.
use what's available, though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you didn't have
it's
snow.
just stupid things that you
Yeah.
did when you were a
They
kid.
should have
Dude.
supplied
It's-
you with.
I would be
Yeah.
pissed if that happened to me, but I would have to go like, I understand. If that ever happened to me down the dark road, somebody winged a freaking mud ball at my car. I mean, I'd probably be upset, but I'd probably have to get out and go like,
Yeah, yeah,
karma.
yeah. Right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
But anyway, man, it's Halloween, dude, and Tracy's got the freaking head. Look how'd the yard look when you came in.
Look good. Yeah,
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 it's crazy, dude. The
yeah.
graveyard.
Yeah, a lot of people trying to get out of their graves. What's up with that?
It's not even done yet, dude. She's got all this stuff on the freaking table that still has to go out, and all her little dummies that she's got, like 5 dummies that she made. She's got to put out. Those go in chairs, dude. It's fucking incredible what she does out there. I don't help with it at all because I want to see what she does.
Yeah,
all
good
on her own.
excuse. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Me neither.
I mean, to
Sorry.
me, I just put a pumpkin out, but
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
all about Christmas. About Christmas, so I go off on the front yard at Christmas. That one's mine. But Tracy does the Halloween. She's done a fantastic job. So last week we were talking about
Commercialism.
we were talking about Halloween, so we're going to talk about Halloween again because yeah, it's one of the funner holidays that we
What's the
have.
deepest snow you ever trick or treated in?
I've never trick or treated in the snow. I
Trick
think I've been out a couple times in the rain, but
At least twice in the snow. One time it was like over 6 inches. Poor parents driving around in their station wagons all over these mountain roads,
yeah.
trying to just God, please give enough candy to fill their bag up so I can go home.
Well, there was one time when everybody used to do it. I mean, I don't remember too many people not doing it back, when I was growing up. I mean, now it's like sporadic. We probably have, I would say, 60% of the people on the street, maybe 70% of the people on the street, maybe will give out candy. Most of
Yeah, I
them
don't think
just,
there's that many on my street.
yeah, most of them just,
Although
they turn
some
their lights out or something, or they just don't answer their door. Everything's
a
closed
couple
out
of
there.
families
So
with kids had moved in this year.
yeah,
So
so it'd be
we'll
nice.
see. Maybe we'll get some more. Yeah.
You gonna give out cough drops again?
Yeah, cough drops, rocks, coal, pennies.
Well, if you,
No, we got it for everybody, man. We've got Kit Kats, and we've got Spooky Reese's, which are ghost-shaped Reese's with white chocolate on them,
mhm.
and Tootsie Roll Pops and Dum Dums, Dum Dum Pops.
Dum Dum Pops.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I like Dum Dum Pops.
yeah,
They're pretty good.
yeah. So everybody get a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the bubble gum, dude.
yeah, yeah,
Bazooka bubble gum.
yeah, yeah.
That was the stuff I wanted.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. I'm a
yeah.
bubble gum freak, dude.
Me too.
I
But
used
yeah.
to be, but I'm not anymore. But I used
No,
to
you
be.
can't anymore. Pull your teeth out.
Give me diabetes, dude.
You can pull your teeth out first.
Anyway, so I'm at the nextdoor.com website right now. I'm checking it out right now, and I just wanted to let you guys know, and I wanted to kind of expand on what we were talking about last week, because I think it's important. If you're going to give out candy, you're going to do something, give it out and be responsible about it too. So what me and Tracy always participate in is we participate in the Teal Pumpkin Project, and just newly they came out with the Blue Pumpkin Project also. They're both kind of similar in their ways, but they are separate nonetheless. So the teal,
So yeah,
yeah,
I saw teal pumpkin. So
yeah. So
a blue pumpkin is just a darker.
the teal pumpkin is the one for allergies,
Right. Okay. Right. Right.
allergies, and food sensitive people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then the blue pumpkin, the one that they got, the kids are carrying the blue pumpkin, and that's for autism awareness and special needs people who are either they're on the spectrum or whatever, and we were talking about last week. Where don't be surprised if you see somebody come up with a blue pumpkin. It means that they can be mentally challenged. They have autism or some kind of a challenge that people wouldn't understand why somebody Anthony's age would come up to the door and do trick or treat. Go because he's a kid. He doesn't know no better. He's 32, wrapped in a kid's body, or excuse me, he's a kid wrapped in an adult body. Excuse me. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So that's what the Blue Pumpkin project is all about. But anyway, I wanted to.
So now they'll be carrying the pumpkins.
They'll be carrying the pumpkins.
Okay.
The pumpkin candy.
Because I saw a teal
bags.
pumpkin that was like a display that you could put in
Yes.
front of your house. Type of
Right,
thing.
right. The teal pumpkin you put out in front of your house, that tells people that you have
Just pure sugar.
peanuts and all the stuff that's bad for you. That's what we have. No, it means that we're conscious of that. There's
Right.
kids,
So we have a selection.
so we have a selection.
Yeah, instead
yeah.
of stuff that was made on machines with nuts, you have stuff that was just pure sugar.
Yeah, it's
and
just
dye.
going to be pure sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. But anyway, on the nextdoor.com website, and I want to let you know that they have a page called the treat map. And if you go to the treat map, you can pull it up, and then it'll show you in your area if you're at nextdoor.com. It shows you all the places that you're gonna get that people are giving out treats or that have some kind of haunted house or something like that. Now, in my neighborhood, I'm the only one. There's one across the street. Maybe in my block neighborhood, there's 3 people that have responded that they're giving out candy for sure
Yeah.
this year.
I mean,
And
we give out candy. I doubt we responded to it. I mean, nothing against next door, but
I don't care.
yeah.
To me, it's cool. You know, I share my location and stuff all the time. You know, walk around my cell phone. So anyway, we put our blue pumpkin up. And there's another blue pumpkin that's probably maybe 2 or 3 more blocks away. But there's a couple more people out giving candy. I mean, there's some that you figure you probably have a quarter of the people that are giving out candy there in that one neighborhood.
Yeah, well,
Just by going to next
that's
door.
pretty good.
But it is a way that you can tell people that you're in the allergy free treats, the Teal Pumpkin Project. And also, what I found on the internet is that they got 50 allergy friendly Halloween treats, and I want to share some with you right now. And it's really kind of really simple when you think about it, because most of the stuff that they're selling in the stores is pretty much allergy free. Now, there's some of it that have peanuts and stuff in it that you have to take out. But I was surprised on the list here, and I'm going to go through some of it. It was telling you about the Teal Pumpkin Project, and I got this out of kidsareatrip.com. And this was a article that was written by I can't tell somebody because I cannot see, but anyway, I can see enough to read. But it's 50 allergy-friendly Halloween treats, peanut-free candy, and some gluten-free Halloween too. So the first on the list is blow pops. You know the blow pops with the lollipops with the gum in the
Yeah,
middle.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
blow pops,
yeah.
blow pops. Laffy Taffy.
The only problem with blow pops, that they're really big.
Yeah, they are
So you
really
get the
big.
small ones. There's
Yeah.
hardly any gum in them. So anyway, go ahead.
Laffy Taffy.
Right? Yeah.
That's a gluten-free candy.
Okay. Sure.
Hershey's chocolate bars, the plains. Any of the plain Hershey
Right.
miniatures and stuff like that. Just the Hershey bars, plain.
They
No
don't
no
have a
nuts, no
disclaimer
nothing in
said
it.
made near machines
Nope.
that work with
Gluten
nuts.
free. Gluten free.
Of course.
Gluten
It's like
free.
saying vodka's gluten free.
Dots.
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dots.
On the
The
paper. Yeah.
little dots. No, the
Yeah.
little red vines.
Of course.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
love red vines.
Wait, well, that's not gluten free, but that's
It's
nut free.
yeah, allergy free.
Yeah.
Rice Krispie treats. Mini Oreos, Jolly Ranchers, Starburst, Junior Mints, Pretzels, Ring Pops, Tootsie Rolls, also gluten free. Sweet Tarts are also gluten free.
Tootsie Pops.
Tootsie Pop or Tootsie doesn't say anything about Tootsie Pops, but I'm assuming
Yeah.
they're the same as they're the
Yeah.
same. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the same as the number one, right? The blow
Blow
pops.
pop. Yeah.
Same as the blow pop.
Yeah.
Goldfish, Smarties, Swedish Fish,
Swedish fish.
York peppermint patties are also gluten free. Kit Kats and gummy bears.
Kit Kat's gluten free or nut free?
Kit Kats, it doesn't say. It just says also gluten free. So I'm going to figure that all these are allergy free, and some of them are gluten free.
The best bet I think is still to read the package and
So
see, because it'll say made on
yeah,
machines with nuts.
yeah. So packets of hot chocolate, glow in the dark necklaces. If you want
Packages of hot chocolate. Boy, I don't know how I'd react to that if I was a kid.
stretchable skeletons, finger lights, uh, mega punch balloons, Halloween bookmarks, bubbles, bouncing balls. Just little things that you can get like at that you can get at the party store or the dollar store or something like
Firecrackers.
that. Firecrackers, little stuff like that. But most of it are if you're pretty smart about your candy and you just look at the candy and make sure that it doesn't have nuts
Yeah.
and other allergens in it, which
Well, I try to give a selection. I know some people, they just give one thing out, and it's usually something that's you know safe, like
yeah,
sweet tarts or
right,
something like that.
right. Right. Well, we got
Um,
a myriad of candies.
but yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
separate
yeah,
up.
yeah,
So
yeah.
usually, if you're gonna get the blue, if you're gonna come over and do the blue plunkin, you're probably not getting any you're probably not getting any chocolate.
Right, right,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, we're probably not getting any chocolate. So,
yeah,
but the other stuff we will for sure.
yeah. And if you got a nut allergy, you're probably not going to get a Reese's.
No, I'm not gonna give
No,
you a Reese's.
no, we'll give you a blow pop or a dum dum.
I
But you
want
got to let us know, man. Just
Yeah,
let us
but
know.
hey, thank you guys for listening, and I just want to let you know that we're still on Libsyn.com, so you can get the show at the Weathered Soul Podcast.libsyn.com. We got a Facebook page. All you got to do is type in the Weathered Soul Podcast. It'll take you to the Facebook page. You can get a hold of me at brucetheweatheredsoul@gmail.com. And we didn't get any hits on our. I don't know if we got any hits on our free extra content for Patreon last week. I haven't checked. Be interested to check. I don't want to check right now because I don't want to cry.
Well, it's not too late for people to check it out.
It's not too late for people to check it out. We put on some. We actually put on some free content, free extra content on the Patreon website. So if you wanted to go to Patreon and check out the extra content we did last week, was precious because it was Dougie went off and I loved it. So if you want to go out there, Dougie did some free content, free extra content, and you can go to patreon.com/the Weathered Soul Podcast. If you want to get there, you're going to get some free content. And hey, for as little as $1 a month, you're going to get 4 of these shows, maybe more a month, because I've got some announcements coming up concerning First Note Productions, which is what carries the podcast. So, yeah, if you wanted to go out there, that'd be good. I'm gonna have to freaking take that thing out because I keep doing that, and I shouldn't do that.
What, your retainer?
No, do that, do that sucking sound. I hate that. Definitely have to edit that.
That's practice.
I know, right? I
Yeah.
wish I could practice that all the time. But anyway, yeah, First Note Productions, dude, is morphing out, dude. I just like I said, I was listening to been continuing listening to some more motivational stuff that I want to keep going on and raise the business up more and more. And decided to I've always teased the fact that I was going to bring back the first podcast that I ever did, which was Bruce for Liberty, and that's going to be a solo podcast done by me. Be coming out on Mondays. That's when it's going to come out on the new distributor Anchor.fm. So be looking for that. And I also put in a request to start a podcast at dot, uh, Anchor.fm. Thank you. Um, Another podcast concept that I have, and it's called the de-education of Alan. And I want to find things that we learned as kids or as we grew up through the ages of something that we were told that we accepted as like gospel or truth or whatever, and then find out later that it was just all like a sham. So there's plenty of stuff out there. There's plenty of websites that are out there that like Adam Ruins, or
Are
was
you
it Adam Ruins something? You know,
everything?
those things. Yeah, Adam Ruins
Oh yeah,
everything
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
something like that.
Spoil
So
it.
it's going to be kind of like that, but I'm kind of going to dig deeper into some theological stuff, philosophy stuff. I mean, some of the stuff that just goes a little bit deeper that people get in their subconscious. You know, that you think that because either you grew up in that environment or stuff like that. So kind of disassembling a not so much of a cultural education otherwise than a conscious de-education of maybe things that you're either blocking out or you just don't care about or or you're just
You
either
talking about programming and
no,
propaganda?
yeah, maybe programming propaganda. I think that's what
I
I'm
mean,
talking about.
it sounds
So
like, because history gets the victors get to write the history,
oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
So yes, so there are a lot of things like that. I mean, when oh, what were they doing the Watergate thing, the biography of Richard Nixon and
Hmm.
stuff? Um, I think it was part of Ken Burns' Vietnam War thing.
Hmm.
Um, Abby was totally dis. She was like heartbroken by learning the type of horseshit that was going on in our government that has been glossed over by history.
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. I
So
mean,
that's an
it's as
interesting.
it's
Those types of things are interesting topics to talk about.
and it's very and it's always been something that I've always wanted to do because I'm always interested in digging out the
Yeah.
truth. I mean, I spout a
Just
lot of
yeah.
things off on the on Facebook, when I'm talking to people and debating people back and forth and stuff like that. And I'm out there just kind of a lot of the stuff I know really well. And there's stuff that I have a lot of opinions on that I know really well. But there's some stuff that I throw out there sometimes just so I can get somebody to come back and to say, "Hey, this is what's going on." So I can see their
Hmm.
sources and get their sources and then bleed off of those because I usually don't go off of somebody's first sources. I'll bring it up and then I'll kind of cross reference at other places, trying to find the
Well,
footnotes and
yeah.
stuff.
I think
And
if anybody tries hard enough, they can find a conspiracy in almost anything.
oh yeah, well
And
definitely.
and I personally, will argue about anything
I know you will.
just for fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
You do it all the
Sometimes
time.
I try to make it into a business, but nobody wants to give me $5 a minute
Well, maybe they'll give you $1 a
a
month,
month.
or we'll split
Yeah.
50 cents a month. Me and you will split 50 cents a month, and then we'll clean these. I gotta clean these things out, man, here pretty soon. But anyway, there's all the stuff that you have to do when you have a podcast and you got a studio and stuff like that. It's just
There's a cartoon where it's the husband and wife. It's in the Sunday papers, and one of the things, it's just two frames. It's like, um, the wife says, "There's no arguing with you," and the husband looks at her and says, "Then why are you always arguing with me?"
so the de-education of Ellen, and that's
Yeah.
coming up on Anchor.fm, and it's just exciting what's going to be going on with First Note Productions. First of all, I shut kind of everything down over the past year. Um, I got kind of butthurt, but I think we've hashed that one out. And we're just going to go forward. And I kind of stomped my feet and said I'm going to take my ball and go home. But
Screw you
yeah.
guys, I'm going home.
But I decided that fuck them. I'm going to take my ball back out, and if nobody wants to participate, that's fine with me. I'll get other people to participate. So that's kind of the way that I feel about some of those things that are going on. Anyway, First Note Productions is taking off in a different direction. Well, in a more upward direction, as far as doing some branding on the Weathered Soul brand. Because as you can see,
Halftime.
halftime, and I got the studio light on. Anyway, the Weathered Soul is going to become a brand, a trademark brand. It's going to have a logo. It's going to have probably different styles on it because we have the band, because we have the podcast. I'm thinking about making hats and actually thinking about getting into the flip flop business because both me and Tracy like flip flops, and we're thinking maybe we can start, Weathered
Yeah.
Soul flip flop uh, line.
Make them out of like used bicycle tires or something.
Something like that. I don't know. Come out with something really weird, but anyway, it's going to be a brand, and that's the way that the Weathered Soul brand is going. I'll be taking that off in a couple of different. We have the Weathered Soul band, which you know whether we launch or not ever. It's just those are one of those things that I keep wanting to work on. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got to have goals, and these goals got to drive me, and it's got to drive the company, and that's where it's
Yeah.
going.
Should name
Also,
your
have
boat. You should name your boat Weathered Soul too.
I did I
Huh.
did I
Yeah.
did name my boat Weathered
There
Soul.
you go.
So you can see I'm obsessed with the name, and because I just think it's a cool name. I mean, we've all aged quite well, and we are as tough as Weathered Souls because you don't get here by not being tough.
Withering souls
Wither,
don't make
I've,
it.
I've tried to be withering souls before. I've actually went like, withered soul would be cool. Withered soul.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I wanted my logo to be a dried up fillet of soul. I tried to find a picture of that on the internet for a long time. I
Uh,
couldn't find one.
a dead tree.
Something like that. But I mean, it's something to that fact. But anyway, that's how First Note Productions is going. Also, I'm dabbling in some new stuff at work, and I'm getting into some modeling software, parametric modeling. It's called BIM, Building Information Management, or Building Information Modeling, and it's pretty cool. It's you're always increasing your human capital and then I can take that to the One Cool Cat Design, which is going to be a subsidiary of Personal Productions. That's my design company that I've always had. So that falls under. The beautiful thing about the LLC in California is that you can do several businesses under the same LLC. So that's what's kind of cool about it. And yeah, so
Excellent.
going forward, man.
Right on.
Going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know quite what to think about it. all I'm doing is just going forward, man. I'm putting the pedal to the metals. I've talked to graphics designer already to do the artwork. I mean, I have some artwork, but I've got different ideas. I need to bounce ideas off of people's heads, graphic people's eyes head, and go like, what? I just need one, you know, one piece of artwork or three different pieces of artwork because the Weather Souls, the band already has kind of a logo. So I'll probably stay with that font and stuff. Yeah, it'll all work out and it'll all look good because I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah. Excellent.
It's an investment.
Yeah. So I'm working with a contractor who's doing new construction,
Okay.
and so he's an electrician, so he's got to do solar on these houses.
Right.
Yeah. So that's been hooking up for me, and he's working on a bid for one guy who wants to put in a huge system, plus have battery storage for emergency backups,
Nice.
and yeah, that sort of stuff. So
Nice.
so that's interesting, and you know uh, PG&E is. I went to the market the other day, and there was some people talking, and I overheard them, so I said something to them, and one person said, um, they're talking about getting backup power systems for their houses,
Mm,
and one person said, my refrigerator has $200 worth of food in it. If it spoils, it's $200. I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars to get a generator installed and all that sort of stuff, and that kind of makes sense if it happens once,
hmm
twice, but after a while it's going to become really inconvenient for that, and I don't know how soon PG&E is going to figure this shit out. I really think it's going to take a leap in technology to be able to get the high voltage power lines as safe, um, from fire as like the wiring in a house is, with the new arc fault circuit breakers, and GFCI outlets, and everything is super grounded and all that stuff. Houses are pretty safe from sparks from fires.
hmm
Electrical stuff trips,
Right.
as soon as it senses anything wrong now.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while for them to get technology, scale it up large enough for like a 200,000 volt transmission line.
Well, either they knew about it or they just figured that they were going to slosh their way on to keep doing it. But they've been treading water since San Bruno
Yeah.
blew up. So,
Well, yeah. Well, no. The thing is there's it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're PG&E or if you're
no, I,
Con Edison in New York.
no,
The
I
technology
know.
is the same.
But the
Like
technology, but the
transformers blow up
train,
in New York and kill
yeah,
people.
but the train's not the same. It, the, a transformer blowing up doesn't displace thousands of people.
No, but
Yeah,
equipment still has failures,
yeah. Oh, I understand. Oh,
right?
yeah.
And they
Okay.
and they don't
Yeah.
and they don't
Okay.
have
I
the safety
understand. I
features to
think.
to avoid that. Like the power should be shut off to that transformer long before it blows up.
Yeah, and I think that I got to say that land management and both PG&E are responsible for doing what it's doing because in my estimation of what I've seen and what I know I've seen is how power lines are run and how they're run through the valleys and the forests and stuff like that. And it's amazing how you know it's amazing how they just go right through trees sometimes. But I've seen pictures on the
Well, for
I've
the
seen
low
pictures on
voltage
the internet.
stuff,
I've seen pictures on TV and commercials on TV how these great big huge 60-foot long chainsaws that are hanging off of the helicopters are going through and trimming off these trees in
yeah, yeah.
between the power lines, right? So I'm going like, okay, so why wasn't that foresight taken when they did all these lines? I mean, because a lot of them are going right through, either following a road where they're going up and over a hill. And yeah, I've seen places where they do have it cleared out, but I just don't
In
understand.
most places, they have a
Yeah,
clearance. I mean, it has to be clear
yeah,
enough for a truck to get through to build the towers.
right, right, right. But I can also see the fact that some of these minor power lines, which are probably the ones that are doing the problems, are the minor power lines, coming down and sparking these fires, and then they just
Yeah,
get
yeah,
out of
like the
control
like
and
the
they
ones that
can't.
run along the
The
back of the alley between houses, or
exactly,
down the side of,
exactly,
yeah, down the
exactly.
roads,
So,
or
I
even the leads to the houses.
yeah,
And that's what you're talking about. Sometimes those are run through the forest. I mean, there's no
right,
clearance at all.
right, right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's where, whether it's starting in the forest because something fell down like that. Now the ones that I saw, the one that took down the tennis club, that one was on the street. That one was on the street. The
Yeah.
pole fell down.
Yeah, well, that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, the pole fell
Damn
down.
termites.
And then I guess the one down there on the 405, they got video of that one being started.
Really?
I saw that today. Yeah, they
Yeah.
they got a suspect of a transformer blowing, and then the sparks
Yeah.
going down and starting to fire underneath the transformer.
It's burning oil, man.
Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
they used to be what they call PCBs.
PCB, yeah.
Are they still PCBs, or
I
have
think
they
so,
been
yeah.
outlawed? I think they replaced all those, didn't they? I don't
I
remember.
doubt it.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. But hey, anyway, the PG&E, we could be facing one more blackout. 2.5 million people this weekend. They're forecasting. I haven't heard anything up to date, but they usually only give us like a 2 days ahead of time. So I'm thinking maybe tomorrow they're going to tell us that, hey, Saturday and Sunday might be it. Let's
Yeah.
see.
And you know that the thing too, with a lot of people is, an emergency backup system is strictly a luxury.
Yeah, well, this
It's
came
it's not something it's gonna pay itself back. It's just gonna make your life easier.
right,
Like
right.
Martin has one. He's had one for almost, I guess, about 20 years. He lives up in the woods. He uses it all the time. Power went out up there, and it was a generator, so it shut off. The power went out. It waits for a couple, 15, 20 seconds to make sure the power
Hmm.
doesn't flick back
Right,
on, and then it starts the generator up, and generator warms up, turns the power on. So power's off for maybe half a minute or so,
right, right. Well, I don't remember
as long
what
as he
the.
doesn't run out of propane.
Well, thankfully the
Yeah.
the weather cooperated, but we might get another one, from what we hear. But we'll just, it is what it is. I mean, keep informed and get yourself ready to be able to deal with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw one thing today on a senior citizens home that was someplace up north, that these people are in a 3-story place and they're in the dark, and some of these people haven't seen light in days, and they're scared, and they're cold, and there's no electricity there, and they're trapped, and these are, places with no caretakers. There's just senior homes, and luckily the next door neighbors and stuff have been taking care of them as much as possible, but it's got to be tough,
Yeah.
because you got older people up there that are extremely sensitive to everything. That there were One of the ladies, she said she cried all day
Well, yeah. I
because the
mean, can you
stress
imagine how
is the
scary
stress
that
yeah,
is?
the stress is just
Because you feel so helpless.
unbelievable,
It's
unbelievable.
being young and virile as we are,
Yeah.
um, we don't know what it's like to be helpless, but being helpless sucks.
Right, 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 right. So,
Well, the American Red Cross has got some interesting information about that, and they also have
mhm.
some very helpful tools. Like they have uh, a simple checklist that you can download that gives you some quick things. It's called ARC, right? American Red Cross Family Disaster Plan Template. It's a PDF file. You can download it from the American Red Cross site.
Right.
Just Google, ARC Family Disaster Plan, or even if you just do Family Disaster Plan. There's actually companies out there that will do the plan for you. Yeah, yeah. If you don't have time or know where your kids live. But it's just simple things like, you list your family names, the address, your pets, an action plan, like what you're going to do in a disaster, how you're going to get out of the house, where you're going to meet if you're separated, if you have to evacuate, what are you going to bring if you get separated, who are you going to call if you can't communicate with each other, type of thing. What are you gonna use as a communication system? Whatever, whether it's uh, they have phone numbers available, 800 numbers you can call. They have websites you can go
Right.
to, all that sort of stuff. If you have anybody that has any special needs, um, any medications, anything like that. You can list all that sort of stuff down. You list your kids' schools and the phone numbers of the schools, and the schools will have if there's an evacuation, they'll have a place that they're going to bring all the kids to. They'll tell you where that is. You write that down. Um, Anybody is disabled, and then you assign tasks to household members to keep things updated, like hey Junior, your job is every month change the water in the disaster kit so we always have fresh water.
Right.
Be informed, maintain the phone numbers for the fire department, the weather channel, whatever you need, whatever you think you might need. um, keep all of your medical information, your financial information, all that sort of stuff, your pet information, and make sure that you share the plan with all your family members so everybody knows, has the same information, and things like that. It's pretty simple, but I think in these days and times, unfortunately, in this state with what's been going on between um, earthquakes, fires, and any other natural disaster we haven't been hit with yet. Um, we should have that, and really everybody should have one of these things. It should be just standard. It should be one of those things they teach in social studies.
Well, there's a lot of things that should be other than what
Yeah,
they
yeah,
what they you learn in school is that you should
yeah,
learn some basic life
yeah.
skills.
And
I mean,
if
I
you
know the parents are supposed to be teaching basic life skills, but every time I know that my parent has taught me the right life skills, but some of the other things either lacked or whatever, and then I think schools should pick that up.
use your God-given intelligence and figure it out,
Sometimes,
boy.
dang it. What I am going to investigate is I heard somebody talking about how PG&E is not all to blame, and because of one of the facts is that everybody's been yelling about how much profit that PG&E takes and what they do with the bonuses to their employees or management or blah 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 whatever. From what I hear, and I'm gonna report on it next week when we come back on, is what I hear is that they're pretty regulated as to how they can distribute their profits and what they're regulated to do as far as to give back out of those profits into different works that are going on with the way California wants their things structured. Like like PG&E had just put out, I don't know how many. There was a certain number of charging stations that they had to put out. It was part of their PUC agreement and with the state assemblies and stuff like that. I'm not going to say what governor because I don't know what governor. I would imagine it had been
Hmm.
Brown, or I doubt it was Newsom, but it's probably Brown. Um, but they've got pretty strict regulations of how much they can dole out to their shareholders, and they're not getting pissed now.
Those are paid
But
charging stations, though,
what
aren't they? Need a credit card?
I believe so, but the state
Yeah,
mandated them to have them there.
yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
so they got to use their
Yeah.
profit to do that. I mean, so
Yeah.
that's what that's
Well,
that's where your money
they
goes.
could have contracted that out to a private
Oh, I
contractor.
believe
Yeah,
I totally agree with
yeah.
you. I totally agree with you there. Anyway, so everything's been going hand in hand. There's a big article out about Newsom taking money from PG&E for his election campaign, and a bunch of other people too. And but those all things
Well,
that's going to be in politics. I mean, you're not going to get rid of it. But what I want to know is I want to know what these regulations are, how the profit structure works for PG&E, and seeing just really get down to the brass tacks and find out, is this really PG&E's fault, or is it a conglomeration between PG&E and land management and there's a lot of lines that go across private property also that you got to go like, am I doing enough? It's like my trees back there are right underneath lines. They start getting up too high. You know, Eddie comes over and cuts
is
them.
that your responsibility or PG&E's?
It's my responsibility.
It is,
I believe it's my responsibility. Yeah,
because I think if you call PG&E and tell them, they'll come trim it.
I would imagine that they would.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I feel it's my responsibility to do that because protect my neighbors,
Well,
man.
once again, here we go with the insanity. Who's putting a utility right down the middle of a fence line?
That's true.
What happens when a transformer needs to be changed
Mm,
or a pole needs to be changed? You're going to have a crane from the middle of the road go up over your house and reach down to pull that pole out and put a new one in.
I guess
That's
so.
stupid.
I guess
I, I,
so.
I've
But I'll
seen
put.
that. I've seen that all over Gilroy, and I your backyard isn't. I don't believe that there's enough room, but in some places where I've seen it, that they're big lots. So there's actually enough room for like a PG&E easement, like a 10-foot easement or whatever. Um,
Right.
and I know where I have I've done solar designs for people that want ground mount stuff that go into like PG&E's easements, and yeah, they won't allow it. I mean, they just won't let you get within certain distance of their wires
Yeah.
if it's like an alley.
Mm,
So same thing with pools and things like that. It's like, no,
mm,
we need to get a truck through here.
but it all goes through there. So I mean,
Yeah, yeah, but once again, it's like, what kind of planning is that?
a lot of people have put
Yeah,
their stuff underground. I mean,
yeah.
so a lot of cities have done that,
Well, that's what every
and all
that's
new communities, I think,
yeah,
pretty much do that
yeah,
now. Is
and then
everything's all
then there's
underground.
problems with that too because some contractors do a really shitty job with that.
Yeah. Mm. You
You
don't
know.
have to have electricity, Doug. I'll put it. I'll
Yeah,
pull a you. You
well,
don't have to have electricity, Doug.
no, I mean, it's because they allow them,
But
like
you told me that that's not true.
what's that?
That you have to be hooked up to PG&E. Your house has to be hooked up to PG&E.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, I thought you said that I had to have
Yeah,
those lines going from
yeah,
that pole
yeah.
into my house.
I don't know if you can get a certificate of occupancy without it.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's
But
kind of
but once you get that, I don't know if there's anything that says you can't disconnect them.
yeah.
PG&E won't let you though, I'm
No,
sure.
I thought you told me that they had to be strung to the house.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah. I
think
think
that's
they
a,
have to be because then what do they do with them otherwise?
use that or your, I don't
Yeah,
know. Anyway, so that's enough about
I think it's a
PG&E.
health thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just hope that these. I don't know what the answer is with these blackout things, dude. I can see it from your point of view when we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, where PG&E is now self-insured because nobody in their right mind would insure them, and they're. Do you see their stock? Their stock went down 75%. Oh my
Yep.
gosh!
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. People are frowning but they should have never been. I don't think that a public utility should have ever become a publicly owned as far as stockholders are concerned.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think it should have
No,
never
no, that's a
happened.
conflict of interest because you can't serve the public as a utility and the shareholder
Yeah,
as a
right,
as
right.
an
I
investor.
truly,
You can't.
yeah, I truly believe that. As far as public utility is concerned, I mean, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you just can't do it.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Thank you.
But the other
It's a
side of that
rarity.
too is, you know, um, we're now starting to get the technology where, you know, PG&E can break the grid up into tiny, tiny little pieces. Um, use solar and batteries. For these kind of interruptions. You need to turn the power off. For 24 hours. Uh, Tesla is building these battery banks that are like freight trains worth of batteries. I mean,
Mm,
seriously,
mm.
just like tractor trailer truck size batteries. You know, hundreds of them all together and stuff. Matter of fact, at Kauai's got one.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, they just did one in Kauai.
Oh, huh.
It's like 400 acres of solar panels
Oh my
and
gosh.
all these huge batteries. And what that's going to do is
That's
that's going to
attractive on the landscape.
yeah,
But
but that's
anyway.
going to reduce their need for diesel fuel by like 30%
Hmm.
because at night they won't have to run the generators, so they'll
Hmm.
be running off the batteries.
Hmm. So we're having lunch. This is a funny story. So we're having lunch Monday at my company, and we're all talking about the blackout because a lot of people are from Morgan Hill and they got blacked out
Uh
up
huh.
there. So Greg is telling me, he goes like, yeah, I got my generator on and this and that. And he goes like, and then I saw my buddy across the street sparking up his gas generator so he can charge his Tesla.
Interesting. It would have to be at least like a 8,000 watt generator, and I hope that power is pure enough for a Tesla. I think it's
That's
okay.
that's a true story, man. I just choked. I went like, oh, that's ironic. Because most
Yeah, and I'm just trying. I'm doing a little.
Teslas, Priuses, stuff like
Yeah,
that. Mostly the Priuses, the hybrid
yeah,
or
yeah,
the
I'm just
electric Priuses. You
yeah,
got those people.
ones that
They're
don't have the motors, the generators built in.
yeah, super super environmentalists, and hate fossil fuels, and that's why they got an electric car. So now they're having to fill their generator up with gasoline to.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I'm just like I said. I'm trying to do a little math in my head. It's
I don't know. That's
let's say it's
true
a
story.
let's say it's 8,000 watt generator. It's got to be running at like almost wide open
Yeah.
to charge a Tesla. So even 30 amps.
Yeah, that's
That's wide open.
it's a pretty
Yeah,
we
charge
put
it at
in we
30
put in some
amps.
charging stations in my company, so I mean I know that
Charge it
they're
at
pretty
30
high
amps.
effort.
It probably takes 6 hours to charge it. Running the generator wide open for 6 hours probably take
Oh, too much
10,
math.
10 to
Too
12
much
gallons of
math.
gas.
But
So that's
well,
still pretty good mileage, though.
only in California.
But that's if you think about it, still that's not bad mileage.
Only in
You get
California.
200 miles for 12 gallons. It's not that bad.
Only in California.
No, anywhere it happens, everywhere in the world.
I don't know. I don't
Yes,
know.
yes,
All I know is that the generator people like Generac
yeah,
are going to make a fucking field day out of
yeah.
California.
Well,
Oh, they're
I
just
would be very careful with Generac.
yeah, they're going to make a
Yeah,
field day out of
I don't
California,
want to I
man.
don't want to say anything. Yeah, no, Generac is advertising all over the place. It's on cable.
They are now.
Yeah, yeah,
They are
yeah.
now,
And
dude.
to put in a generator, I've done this several times. Put in a generator, hook it up to natural gas or propane, and put in a breakout panel with a transfer switch. Is not that hard to do.
Right.
Um, I don't know what an electrician would probably charge $6,000 or $8,000 to do that. I don't know, maybe less.
Well, Generacs are
But
going for what, $49.99 now for
what?
the smallest one.
No,
$49.99. Yeah.
$4.99.
No, $49.99.
No,
$4,999 for the small
nope,
Generac. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to look online because the last one I bought was $1,900, and that was just a couple of months ago.
The Generac units that sit
Yeah,
outside.
an 8,000 watt with auto
No,
start
no,
and
no. They're
transfer
like
switch and
49.
everything, and shipping.
Well, they went up.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
they
no.
went up.
Bruce, this is my business, man.
Go ahead, look. I'm just telling you, dude. Anyway, this is how we're gonna end the show.
Yeah, sure. Go fuck yourself.
That's
That's
a
like
great
Aloha where I come
that's a
from.
great segue into our next little segment. What we're gonna end with is just like appreciate your rude, blunt friend because they are usually the realest.
That's right.
And this is the 5 reasons that you should cherish them. And this is from Aja Lothar from the iHeartIntelligence.com. We all have that friend who is outspoken and blunt, and in today's world, they are quite hard to come by, especially when people are
Wait,
self-centered and narcissistic. So come here,
Yeah.
Mr. Narcissist.
Okay, so here's a
Mhm.
7.5K home generator, 1999 free shipping with the transfer switch.
Okay, we're talking about a 20. What? How big was that one?
7.5K. That's what you need for a house this size.
Oh no, they were talking about 20K, something like
Oh,
that.
well, that's
They're talking
different.
about a 20K unit.
Well, yeah.
They were talking about a 20K unit. That's all I'm saying.
Here's a 22K standby for $29.95.80.
Okay, cool. All right,
Here's another one, 13K for 3,600.
there you go. There you go. So if you can get one put in for a couple $1,000s, there you go. You've
Yeah.
got your generator to get you by whenever the freaking power's out for a couple of days. I
Or
mean, basically,
you get
as long as the
a real
propane runs out.
generator for about 5,000.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You need a generator. A generator. That's what I'm talking about.
No, I mean like a 3-cylinder diesel
No, you're
rotary.
whatever they're starting to put in the homes.
Well, yeah, I mean if
There's
just
stand next to your
see,
freaking air conditioner.
this is the thing, these new Generac Guardians. All right, so here's a 22K for 5,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, but that's still a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. It is a lot of money.
Because here's 16K. But you do
Yeah.
About 3,000 for a 22K is a reasonable price,
Okay,
I would
there
say.
you
Yeah,
go. There you go.
yeah,
Okay. So twice to put that in, so
yeah. But
6,000 to
you
put it
don't
in.
need 22K.
I know. I'm just
What are
saying
you
that's
gonna run your air conditioning?
don't kill me because I read the article.
No, all you need for a house this size is like an 8K, and you can run everything. You could run your you can
Dougie's killing me in the
you
neck
could
tonight.
you could run your microwaves. You could run your TVs. You can have all your refrigerators on and every light in the house on.
I got a 3,500 watt. That should be enough.
3,500 watts enough to run. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
enough to run. It's enough to run all your
Yeah.
refrigerators, but not your air conditioning.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna run my air conditioner anyway.
yeah. A
So,
couple of fans, whatever, all the lights.
Doug, you're killing me now.
Why?
No, I know.
Don't fence with me.
The truth is, outspoken and blunt people in this world are the most real people that you will meet.
That's right.
They have no shame in speaking their mind, and if need be, will call out your bullshit. And they do it in the name of self-realization, because without these people, we would never be aware of our bullshit, especially when other people are too afraid to speak up. Sure, the realness and blunt way of saying things can sometimes embarrass and even offend us with their truthfulness, and sometimes makes us question our friendship with them. But honestly, you would rather have a friend who speaks their mind in matters that concern you, uh, that matters that concern you behind your back, or you would rather have a friend who will be up in your face. So,
Yeah. Well, and there's some people that are diplomats and some people that are more straightforward, and you got to accept them for what they are.
right, right.
Yeah,
And the 5 traits that they have is that they will never try to please you with a lie.
that's right.
They're not going to lie to you.
I'm not going to eat shit for a reward.
Absolutely. If you ask them a question, they're going to give you the God's honest truth. And yes, you look fat in that skirt, or no, he's not the one for you. They see no reason in sugarcoating things that are really obvious, and they will tell you exactly what they know. They will tell you exactly what they know you need to hear as a friend. Number 2, they are not afraid to speak their mind. So
Yeah.
this is all about me. They speak they speak what's on their mind whenever to whomever, and there's no doubt of what kind of people they are or what kind of personalities they have, because they are trying to hide whatever they're thinking they say. Don't sugarcoat anything, and they don't hold their tongue for the sake of others, and they believe that calling people out on things and speaking and voicing their emotions are important, and that's why they always speak their mind.
But you could be nice or you could be mean about it.
Yeah, depending on who we're talking to.
Yeah, and a lot of times it has to do with inflection. And that's one of the things that's really fucked up with society today is all of this social media shit with everybody like texting and emailing and all that nonverbal communication. There's no inflection.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing your face or hearing your pauses or your what you're exaggerating, what your
Yeah.
exclamation points
Right,
are, all that
right,
sort of
right, right,
you know
right. My
you,
quotes,
yeah,
my quotes and my parentheses and
yeah,
everything else that goes into the emotion of writing a text or writing something on social
yeah.
media.
Like I could text you with something and then you could text me back with, "Oh, why'd you do that shit?" And I'd be like, "What the fuck's wrong with him?"
You put the comma in the wrong
Yeah,
spot.
yeah.
Don't put the comma in the wrong spot.
So when I read something and it sounds really harsh to me,
Hmm.
I always blow it off.
Yeah,
I
I
always
do.
blow it off. It's like, no, 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 that's bullshit. That's not what they meant. They just wanted to get their point across clearly, and they're not really calling me an asshole. They're just
No,
expressing themselves.
they're calling me an asshole.
Well, that's that thing.
Number 3 is that they will never backstab you. The beautiful thing about this kind of friend is that they're the most real kind of people. Firstly, they have no time for bullshit in any form. So when it comes to being
Always stab you
friends,
from the front.
when it comes to being friends with someone, that's exactly what they're going to be. Backstabbing, manipulation, and gossip are things children do, and they consider it a waste of time. And if they didn't want to be your friend, they would just tell you up to your face. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And being with them is always fun and interesting time. Right?
Yeah.
You're a fun guy.
Yeah, but looks
and
aren't everything.
You're really interesting. So that's why our assholes attract, I think. That's good.
Yeah.
And number 5, and the last one, is that their friendship is friendship in its purest form. And they teach the true meaning of friendship, how to honor boundaries and to keep promises, that they will be the first one to tell you when you have disrespected them and their boundaries. And they take you out of your comfort zone that you can see life differently and grow. And they are also the first to tell you when you are being disrespected. And they're always there to counsel and lend an ear and a shoulder when times get tough. And that's how we are, because we're
Dude, I'm not down with that.
friends. Yes, we are. We're friends. We all want to be just friends.
Hey, they just gaslighted you.
I love stuff like that. It just makes me happy to know that I am recognized as being a good friend.
Yeah.
I'm a narcissist too. But anyway, it's been a great time, man. You can get us at the weatheredsoul.libsyn.com is where you can get our podcast for next. I don't know. We're going to go over to Anchor soon, but we've got 2 other shows that are going to Anchor, but we're going to be with Libsyn. So the Weathered Soul podcast.libsyn.com is where you can get us. You can get us also on iTunes. You can get us on Stitcher. You can get us on Google Play, and all the rest of the podcatchers that take their stuff off of there. And then you can get a hold of me at brucetheweatheredsoul@gmail.com. Our Patreon website is patreon.com. The /The Weathered Soul Podcast. You can find us at Facebook at the Weathered Soul Podcast. And yeah, just that's where you can find us. And we're about done, man, for tonight.
Let us know. Let us know what we can do for you to make your listening more pleasurable and your experience more fulfilling.
That's right. You
Please.
guys from Malaysia and from Belarus.
Wherever
you're at.
From Gilroy.
From the Netherlands.
New York
from
City.
Australia. From South Korea. From the UK and from Canada. Yeah, we're worldwide now, dude.
We don't do this to hear ourselves, although that is fun.
Well, let me hear you say goodnight, Dougie.
Oh, good night, Dougie.
For best results, squeeze from the bottom up.
Right on.